Good blessed Tuesday night, May the 3rd, 2022. It's about 11:36 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't even matter if you like me or like anything that I say or do. I greet all you all with that same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today, May the 3rd, 2022, 26 years ago on May the 3rd, 1999, God sent me to southeast Missouri, to the soils of Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County on an assignment / mission. I didn't know it would extend to southern Illinois, Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County, but it did. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody that been helping me and my family seek justice for my son, Brian Lamar Johns, who was found hung, lynched in Carbondale, Illinois on Friday, March the 19th, 2021 in the 400 block of North Oakland Street in the Gaslights Apartments in the hallway. What I want to speak about now, it was a shooting, I believe, this past Saturday or Sunday, April the 29th or the 30th of April 2022 in Carbondale, Illinois. And WSIL Channel 3 do their best, at their best, interview the Jackson County, Illinois prosecuting attorney, Cervantes, and the Carbondale, Illinois police chief, Stan Reno, concerning the shootings. And I'm going to play a clip about 2 minutes and want y'all to listen to it, how they said that they are trying to fight crime and how they saying it may seem like it's a lot of shooters in Carbondale, Illinois, but it's not. It's just a few people. But that's what they saying. But I also want you to listen to that they said that they look for the public to help them solve crimes. And they rely on the public. But I'm going to show you some things after you get through watching their videos, show you how they are not doing what they say they're doing when people call in to try to tell them about certain crimes and they do nothing about it. I want to make a correction on a YouTube video I believe I made yesterday or the day before. It might have been the night before. When I was speaking about Linda Flowers and Carolyn Harvey. Both of them are NAACP members. Both of them is black women. Both of them have ties, I believe, to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. Linda Flowers is the president of the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois. And her husband, I believe name was James, but her husband, Linda Flowers' husband name is Carl Flowers, which he has connection with the city. Linda Flowers, I told y'all that she was on the select committee that voted in Stan Reno, the police chief, last year in April or May of 2021. She also was just on April the 26th, 2022 at the city council meeting for the Carbondale, Illinois City Council. At their meeting, she was just reappointed to the fire in the police commission who investigate these crimes. And I'm gonna show you something else that Linda Flowers is on. She's on the Carbondale, Illinois school board. And I want you to remember a white school teacher by the name of Katie, how do you pronounce it, baby?
Babcock.
Babcock, Babcock. That's her name she using at the Carbondale, Illinois Rebound High School in the 200 block of North Oakland, about a block and a half south of where my son's body was found. But she was also found spending my son's food stamp card on April the 29th, 2021, some 39 days after my son's death. They caught her on the video. They yet to prosecute her now. Her and her husband, which her last name now up under marriage, she got married, I believe, September of 2020 to Michael Vallant, Valliant. Both of them, Michael and Katie, had my son food stamp card, not only when he was alive, but after he was dead. And they had other people that was homeless, on drugs, and with mental illnesses, and the police department know about it, the prosecuting attorney know about it, but they did nothing about it. And Katie, Babcock, that's her maiden name that she using at the school. She's a family educator, but her and her husband land here taking advantage of homeless people. The prosecuting attorney, you remember he said he need the public to help them to prosecute? That's a crime what she did. That's theft. Whether my son gave it to him or not, after he was dead, Michael Vallant, I got in my messenger, Michael Vallant sent a message to me on Facebook. We not even friends on Facebook, but he sent a message because he seen my YouTube out there, letting me know he was a friend of my son's. Guess when he sent that? May the 1st, then May the 2nd. And he said he was a friend of my son's. Then after I talked to him a few times, I can see it was something wasn't right about him. Then all of a sudden he told me about a few days after that, he told me after May of 2021, he told me that he had my son's food stamp card and asked me did I want it now. He know my son dead. Then he told me that he gave me his number and asked me that I want Savanchez's phone number, a cell phone number, but he said don't tell him I gave it to you because he was helping people to solicit to vote Sanchez in as prosecuting attorney. Now, this guy told me that he said call Sanchez, but don't tell him I gave him the number. Now I kind of see why Sanchez is not prosecuting Michael Vallant, and I can see why Linda Flowers, the NAACP president, who's on the commission for the police and fire department, she was on the select committee to vote the chief of police in. It's a school teacher that she's not going to go up against, and plus they white. And I'm going to show you a pattern where Sanchez and the chief of police, they don't mind prosecuting these black individuals. Now, it was a female by the name of Molly Young who was shot in the head with a gun from a white individual that was a dispatcher for the Carbondale Police Department, who haven't been charged with her death. And I believe she was killed, I believe, in 2012 or 2014. I think it was 2012. But they not prosecuting this dispatcher because he was a part of the police department. He's not there anymore. They not prosecuting the white individual that killed a Indian back, I believe, in 2014 by the name of Praveen. They claim Praveen wandered off into the woods, but 4 years later, Praveen, he was a Carbondale student, SIU student who came from Morton Grove, Illinois, but his family had the money like Molly's family had, and they've been on these documentaries. Unlike me and my family, we don't have the money to get on documentaries. The people won't put my son on there. He haven't even been in the newspaper. But here it is, the white guy that they arrested 4 years later for killing the Indian guy was found guilty by 12 jurors. He had the choice to have the judge to be the cheer factor or a jury. He chose the jury. The jury found him guilty of murder and robbery. Guess what? When he went to go get his time, the judge threw it out. He's still on the streets. The individual where Molly Young was, they said she committed suicide. How you gonna shoot yourself in the top of the head? And the gun belonged to the dispatcher for the police department. But I want to show you something now. They won't prosecute. They know this woman. They got this school teacher, Katie, on video spending my son food stamps. She got 4 or 5 kids. Her and Michael Valley, they was feeding their kids off of my son, taking advantage of his addiction, just like the police department took advantage of his addiction and had him wired up. But now they say he committed suicide. But let me show you something. Well, I'm going to show you after they get through with this here. I'm going to ask the Carbondale Police Department in the Jackson County prosecuting attorney, why did they close the case back in the prosecuting attorney closed it in September of 2021. The police department closed it in August of 2021. Why they didn't investigate this here, y'all? Look what this here say. Can they see it good? This is the Illinois State Police. They didn't, you see when this here was closed up? This, you see who it was sent to? Jared Dunning, the investigating detective on my son's case, him and a whole bunch of racist white individuals. You see what I'm saying? You see who it was sent to and when it was sent to him? Now, they didn't send everything that was found around my son. They just sent certain items. You see what I'm saying? And let me show you what the Illinois State Police said on the items that they did send. Okay, when they said, let me see, let me get the, okay, now, this is the contributors. It says, let me see, a sample from a sealed white envelope containing swabs said to be. See, they don't know. They saying what the police told them. Said to be from belt number 1 knot. The knot. And let me show you what it says about that knot. It says number of contributors. Not 1, not 2, but 3. One of them is definitely my son's. And then the other 2 is unknown. Now, on this other one, let me see, where is it at? Let me find it, y'all. Okay, that was the first knot. Here's another one where it said a sample from the envelope containing swab said to be from Brian from the belt number 2 knot, the second knot. Look how many contributors, y'all. Not 1, not 2, but 3. 1 is my son, and 2 is 2 Two other people, unknown. Now, if they, two unknowns own the knot, why did they close this here? Because somebody else had to tie them knots. You see what I'm saying? And then here it is. Okay, it says samples from the white envelope. This is what the police department sent to them, containing swabs said to be from belt number 3, buckle to second rivet. From the buckle to the second little rivet where the hole at. Guess how many? Guess how many people? 2 people. Then here it is, the other one. It says samples from the sealed white envelope containing swabs said to be from belt number 3 from the buckle from the buckle to the second rivet. Okay, I said that one already, or did I? It's 2 contributors. Oh, it's another page. That's right. It's way more than this here, but I just want y'all to see something, wondering why they closed it. Now look at this here. This say samples from the white envelope containing swabs and said to be from belt number 4. Another one, they saying number 2, 3, and all that. They cut the belt to cut him down. Second rivet to the end. 2 contributors. In other words, from the beginning of that belt, from the buckle from the second rivet all the way to the end. Now, the second rivet would be from the buckle is like this here. Remember, the belt was 46 inches long. Now, how would 2 other contributors be on those on the buckle? 3 being on the 2 knots? But I'm going to show you the knots in a minute, but I want to show you the video. But this is what I want y'all to take close attention to. Linda Flowers is on the select committee to bring the police, to elect the police chief. Linda Flowers is just being reappointed on the commission of the police and the fire in Carbondale. Linda Flowers is the Carbondale NAACP president. Linda Flowers is connected, a graduate, I think, of SIU. And guess where this girl, Katie, graduated from or went to? SIU. Pay close attention to that. Linda Flowers' husband is Carl Flowers. He worked it, I think, about 30 years for the city of Carbondale. So we can see why we can't get no investigation. And Linda Flowers' husband is Carl, and Carol Harvey's husband, I believe, is James. He a deacon. All of them is from the church, Rock Hill Missionary Baptist Church. Also connected with the SIU, also connected with the police department. But listen to the chief of police in this here prosecuting attorney and ask him, why did they close my son's case when the Illinois State Police was still looking for their results and what they found. But I'm going to show you some more items that they didn't send to the Illinois State Police, and I'm going to tell you why they told me that. They said the Illinois State Police wouldn't take it because they don't take certain stuff with suicide. Now, they determined the police in the deputy coroner.
Watch, 2 men are in custody in connection to a weekend shooting in Carbondale.
They were taken into custody yesterday and face several charges. As News 3's Danny Valle explains, despite this weekend shooting, the city is trying to get a handle on violence.
A lot of violent crimes, home invasions, residential burglaries, armed robbery, and robbery, those are all down.
Jackson County State's Attorney Joe Cervantes is confident that the city of Carbondale is turning the corner on crime.
My narrative to the community is this is a great community, a diverse community, a safe community that is plagued by a handful of individuals.
A shooting on Washington Street early Saturday morning injured 1. That person survived. 27-year-old DeMarcus Jones and 28-year-old Charlton Joshua Patterson, both from Carbondale, were arrested the next day. Jackson County deputies picked them up on East Walnut Street after the pair attempted to run away, according to police. Cervantes says there are more suspects, but couldn't comment on an ongoing investigation.
There's still a few out there, and for some reason they continue to push forward and ruin their lives. They have to understand that we know who they are, and they will be held accountable.
And Cervantes says he can't do it alone. He needs the community's help to pitch in and weed out crime.
The key lies in the community. Stand up against violence, stand up for community programs.
Violence in the city of Carbondale.
Despite reports of gun violence, is not an unsafe place.
A lot of our violent crimes are down. I think one of the things that we get into the habit of doing is creating a narrative based on shootings. We think that there's a lot of shooters. It's actually very few people that are making it a bad situation for the entire community. I think the idea was for all of us to work together to find out who those bad apples are and to start working the problem.
Carbondale police say working the problem starts with cooperation.
We work very closely with the state's attorney's office, take their lead and direction and know what's best to do in these investigations to put the best case together to hold these individuals accountable for their actions.
Part of that cooperation comes from the community.
Last year that we were having some reluctance from the community to come forward and work with us in these investigations. And I think the tide is turning. We're seeing a lot of cooperation from the community. We're seeing more phone calls, more cooperation from witnesses, more cooperation from the victims. And that's what it's going to take.
And that people are truly fed up with the violent crime, and they're, not willing to tolerate that in their community any longer.
Carbondale PD recently saw many guns off the street this past weekend and are now making their way to state labs for analysis. To continue to stop offenders and continue to help prevent more shootings, police say cooperation must continue.
The police department cannot do it alone, and we need the help of the community to make sure that we keep Carbondale safe.
In Carbondale, Madeline Parker, News 3.
Now, what I want y'all to do is check this here out to show you. It's a Carbondale reporter. Carbondale Community High School District 165 Board of Education meet February the 17th. That was this year. But I just want you to, they took a roll call. And I want you to see who on there. You see who on there as a member. You see who on there? Linda Flowers. You remember Katie, married name is valid, had my son food stamp card and has yet to be prosecuted. I want to hold on one. Don't hold on, but just I called the prosecuting attorney's office for the third time on April the 29th, 2022. I left a message with, I believe her name is Erin, A-R-R-Y-N, Carson, C-A-R-S-O-N. I was told that she's the investigator for the female and her husband that had my son food stamp card. I left a message on her voicemail, and I left a message for the actual prosecutor himself, and they have yet to contact me back. But yet, you remember they were speaking about they look for the community help. But yet they ain't trying to prosecute this white female for spending my son food stamp card. But I want to show y'all some more pictures here. Now, another reason why I'm trying to see why they closed my son case. This is my son body here. Look at this. This is one of his pockets. This is his right pocket out. You can see how it's out. Y'all done seen the other things. I'm going to show you some knots. I'm not going to show you his body, but this is his pocket is out now. Remember, his right hand got balled up with money in it. One of his socks have drugs in it now. They said he had a bunch of methamphetamine and anti-depression medicine in him now. Now, if he drug addict, he got bags of drugs in his socks. But look, this is a sign of a robbery. You see what I'm saying? And then with the drugs in his socks, that's something like somebody probably planted. The coroner took the CSI lady took his gym shoes because there was one spot of blood on it and put them in the body bag. Not in the body bag, but in the evidence bag. The money balled up in his hand. The deputy coroner put it in the body bag. Why did the money go into the evidence bag? And I don't know what the results for the blood that was on his shoe. It was blood on the money balled up on his that the money was balled up in his hand that the coroner had to pry it open. I want to show y'all something else. But they closed it as suicide. Now all of this stuff here, this fire extinguisher, I want you to pay close attention to it. It's on the 3rd floor in the 400 block of Oakland where my son's body is hanging. This is the belt. This bike was here. That bike, when I went 4 or 5 days later, the bike was still there. Why didn't it go to the evidence lab? Why didn't all of this stuff, plants and stuff that was kicked over, go to the evidence lab? Remember this fire extinguisher. Each side of each building has a fire extinguisher on the 1st floor. This one didn't belong on the 1st floor in the 400 block of Oakland, where he was found on the 3rd floor in the hallway. It belonged in the 400 block of West Sycamore, around the corner on the 3rd floor. On the 1st floor. This is the knot that he's supposed to tie, y'all, to hang himself. Remember what the Illinois State Police said. It was 3 characters on this knot, not one. So that means if it was 3 characters on there, 2 of them unknown, somebody else, and then from what it says, it's a major male. In other words, must have been 2 other males, because it would have took more than one person to hang my son up there. This is another picture of the knot. And if any legitimate police department in CSI, that bike and everything else would have went up there because my son's hand was close by. This is outside, y'all. You see this drag mark? You see this police standing up here? He acting like he had a movie. The prosecuting attorney told me that the police sergeant, Guy Draper, said that they had the place sealed off. Do y'all see any tape out there? Do you see any evidence tape? You see him with some gloves on? You see a drag mark. Somebody done dragged my son. See, he was already in rigor mortis. Somebody dragged my son, but now you finna see footprints that they got. They claiming this is my son's footprint. You see what I'm saying? It's strange that a beat sergeant finding all of this here, ain't it? Now, look at this footprint and look at this one here. He got this paper over there. Look at this one here. You see this footprint here? That ain't the same there, is it? That's a big footprint. That's a man's footprint, ain't it? You see that? Close to the one where my son's is at. Where they claim my son's is at. But though you don't see no evidence tape nowhere, do you? This axe, look at it real good. My daughter just said she seen blood, right? Put that arrow on it if you can get it. Right on the tip, it's blood. Look like it's blood right there on it. Now this axe, we have a picture of my son having an axe on March the 19th, 2021, the same day he was found hung, but it was like about 24 minutes after 12, but it didn't have this duct tape on it. Now, strangely, this is in the police report here, but I'm going to show you this here. How did this white female get all of this here before the police did? Now, this is the police picture. I'm going to show you the white girl's picture when I get a chance. This is the police again. Now, the state's attorney told me and 2 ministers, one from Marion, Illinois, and one from Florida, that the police sergeant, Guy Draper, had the place sealed off. Do it look like this place is sealed off? It look like it's a movie to them. You don't see no tape. You don't see no crime scene tape nowhere. You see him modeling for a picture. Now, this is what the white girl gave me The white girl gave me this here. She was staying on the 3rd floor in the next building around the corner on a Sycamore. This is what she gave me. She said she found this in front of her door just like that. And let me show you what she said she did when she found it. She said she moved them up and took pictures of them like that. Let me show you what else she said she found. This for the police. This mask. Is the air on it? This mask. And these things that you see on here, she put that on there. She know who damn mask it is. You see what I'm saying? She found this before the police on the same day of my son's death, supposedly. She found the fire extinguisher that belonged in her building, glass down here. She wrote all of this here. She gave me these pictures. The police didn't give me. These ain't the police pictures. You seen the police pictures is different. Now she found the shirts. And later she said she took the shirts. The police report says she took the shirts in her house. If she took the shirts in her house and found all of this before the police even found it, let me show you what else. This is another picture she gave me. This is the picture she took of the axe. Now, she got all of these pictures before the police got them. And she told people in the building the stuff belonged to my son. How do you know it belonged to my son? And then told somebody in the building, a couple of people in the building, oh, he was one of them crackheads. But we found out she used drugs too. She done since moved up out of there without letting them know she was gone about 3 or 4 months ago. Let's go. Okay, that's it. But I just wanted y'all to just see, how did this white girl find all of this here and the police didn't see it? Was strange. Another white female claims she found my son's wallet 2 days after his death, 5 blocks away from where my son, where his T-shirts was found at, on Sycamore, the 900 block of Sycamore. And the police, when she was supposed to give them to me, the police listened to my YouTube videos like they did. They went back to this female, the white female that claimed she found my son T-shirts, took them in her house. They didn't check to see if any blood. Remember I told y'all his left hand, I said I thought it was cut all the way across, but it was a deep gash about that big, but I thought it was cut all the way across because it was dried up blood. But when I seen the autopsy, after it was clean, it was a cut about that big, but it was all the way down to the tendons. Where's all that blood at? Probably was in that female's apartment, which they cleaning up real good. But I want y'all to just pay close attention. Why did they close this here? Because my son is black. He was on drugs. He been to the penitentiary. He was homeless. And I think my son was finna reveal something about the police, because my son called 911 on April the 18th, 2021 at about 7:04 p.m. at the University Mall, asking the 911 dispatcher from Carbondale, am I still on the police payroll? Now listen to that. And let me tell you another thing about Michael Vallet. The police questioned his wife at her job, but I don't see no interview that they took her down to the station. I have Michael Vallet audio interview, the postman audio interview, everybody else audio interview except Michael Vallet's wife. And when they talked to me and my son's mother, they got a video, but they don't have the audio, and they don't have the audio because the audio would have showed you. They told me and my son's mother that on the 24th of March, before they even did any investigation, that my son death would be ruled a suicide if it came back that he had drugs in his system. They have that in the report from the deputy coroner, a report that ain't even signed, y'all. Ain't even signed. But anyway, the police questioned Michael Vallet's wife at her job at the Rebound High School and asked her, do she think Michael Vallet killed my son over meth? Remember, Michael Vallet, at 17 years old, he spent 17 and a half years in the penitentiary for murder and drugs. And he knew my son from the pen. And then guess what they said saved Michael Vallet? So happened, so conveniently, on March the 19th, 2021, the day they found my son hung, they said Michael Vallet was in St. Louis getting some type of surgery on his arm. Why didn't they get his phone like they did illegally getting my son medical records? My son didn't sign and get him permission to get the medical records. I didn't sign it. His mother didn't sign it. So how did the police get it? If they signed and got my son's medical records, because that's all they trying to do is put suicide, then you know what they trying to do. Clear it up. They should have got Michael Vallet's phone. They should have got the white girl phone that claimed that claimed she found my son's wallet. They should have got the white girl's phone that said she claimed she found my son's t-shirts, took them in her house, found this axe, found his mask, found that fire extinguisher. Who fingerprints on the fire extinguisher? I wish the state police could have had that. But y'all help me expose these people. Linda Flowers is a disgrace to black folks. Peace be still.